Hey, how are you all? Good to be back. Yeah, I just saw you all on Web Sleuths. So good to be back. Yes, we're out of court for the day. We are done. I wanted to try and get this done and cut as soon as we could, to try and get on at a bit of a normal time. We get out pretty early on a Friday. It's not that late. We get out, by the afternoon most days actually, and it's not that bad, it's not that bad. So, I'm gonna detail you what if you didn't hear the web sleuth thing, so I'll detail what we heard today. This morning, we heard the continuation of Erin Patterson's and Simon Patterson's youngest child, which is their daughter. And she continued what they call, like, video evidence, and that's what we heard yesterday in the afternoon, and you guys heard a little bit about it last night. We had about another 10 minutes of it today, and then we moved on to their son. So their son, um, yeah, their son was able to give his one as well, and that's what we listened to basically up until the end of court at about we got out just before one, just after one, something like that, and we were able to finish that. So when we come back next week, it'll be a completely new witness or evidence or something like that. They were able to clear that off the slate. Now, due to some of the reporting things, I can't tell you a great deal, but I do have a couple of quotes here from each of the video evidences of each one. Um, and I'm going to just load this up. All right. All right. So the last little bit of the daughter's video basically showed us a little bit more of what the young girl had to say, and the detective, or I'm guessing it's a detective. I'll just say the police. The police interviewing her ask her what is her favorite food, and she says very emphatically, "Ice cream." And she'd been a little quiet for a lot of the police interview, but when they asked what her favorite food was, she just screamed out, "Ice cream!" And she seemed to really love love that. I think like most children, right? Most children love ice cream. I think that's why they make it, is because children love it. And yes, that was one of the points today, that she loved ice cream. Actually, hold on for a sec. Sorry about that. I had to catch an update about something very quickly. We're back though. There should be no more interruptions. We've got a long afternoon. It is. That's right. Marylander says TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, it is Friday here in Australia, and I'm so happy to be done with court for the week. I'm so happy to be out of court. It's been a really long couple of weeks. It's like a 9 to 5 job. I've been going there like I leave home really early and I get home very late most days. So to get off this afternoon at like 1 was like a real treat to so we didn't have to come in at like 7:30 at night. Um, all right. So I told you that Erin Patterson's daughter, she was 9 at the time, that she loves ice cream. That was her favorite food when she was asked about what her favorite food was. I think that everyone got it. That was she just yelled out. She goes, "Ice cream!" And they said here the jury heard today some more evidence from her in that interview, and they asked her about like her mother and cooking. Is your mum a good cook? And what do you guys make? And things like that. And the daughter says, and I quote, she says that mum is a good cook and had made lots of stuff before and enjoyed doing it. And when further pressed about the types of food they had cooked together, so mother and daughter, she said her and her mum had cooked muffins and cupcakes together, but they had not done any sort of like, dinner meals or what they call like savory food together. More like, things you would do with a kid, like cupcakes and, muffins for the school lunches and things like that. So her reply was, and I quote, she said they had cooked muffins and cupcakes together, but not any savory type dinner. So dinner type foods, like I don't know, something you would cook for your night meal. And they said here when she was asked about how she knew she had had leftovers from the lunch the day before, so that's the beef Wellington lunch. They asked her like, "How did you know that's what you had eaten on the Sunday night for dinner?" And she says, and I quote, "Because mum told me." She says her mother told her that it was leftovers from the previous day. There you go. Facts. Facts from the court. The daughter also mentioned that she doesn't like mushrooms and had never been out picking wild mushrooms and had never seen any mushrooms while with her mum and her brother, but that she had seen mushrooms at her school growing in the wild. Which, yeah, I'm sure most schools, when it rains, you would see mushrooms growing around a schoolyard. She also mentioned in this police interview that she had bought mushrooms with her mother at an IGA in Corroborra, and she couldn't remember the last time she had done that with her mum, though. She also said that she had never been to any sort of Asian grocery store with her mum. So they were trying to see if maybe mum took her or something, but she says, I've never been to any type of Asian grocery store. So that concludes her evidence. So the little bit I told you last night, the little bit I told you today, you need to remember it was a child, 9 years old, being interviewed by police about a very difficult situation. So the evidence is what it is, and what I've reported to you, that's what the answers were. I mean, that's it. So I'd like to move on to their son. You've got to be so careful with how we report this. All right. I'd like to tell you about a bit of his evidence that he had, like the evidence that was tendered to the court, which was a video police interview that the jury watched. So it was a video that the jury watched. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what he had to say. And one of the parts here is that when he returned home from the movies, on that Saturday for the lunch, he returned home, and his grandparents and I think they describe it as his great auntie and uncle to him, to the Simon and Erin's son. It's like Heather and Ian are his great auntie and uncle. So if Don and Gail are his grandparents, that's sort of the way it was described. They say here, he says When they returned to the home, we all went inside and said hello. So he's saying that he went and said hello to his grandparents and his auntie and uncle. And then the jury had heard about a conversation he'd had with his deceased grandfather, Donald. And they talked about, uh, so the son takes flying lessons. And he says here, Papa Don asked me about my flying lessons. So they'd had a very small conversation about his love of these flying lessons and what he was up to, and typical stuff you might talk about with your granddad, I guess. And it says here in my notes it says he also repeated a very similar story to his sister's one of them and a friend heading to Leongatha McDonald's and then seeing the movie Elemental. So they headed out for the day while this lunch was on and went and saw a movie and went to, like, they were dropped at McDonald's and were out for the day so that the adults could talk. So there you go. What else? He also said that his mother had said she just wanted it to be the 5, and what he means by that is his mum was telling him that it was just for the adults. No children were to be there because they were gonna talk like adult talk. Like, it was just that wasn't in direct evidence. His direct reply I'll give to you, but I was just explaining to you what that means. And he says, and his reply is in my notes, it says, "She just wanted it to be the 5." And by 5, she means, well, it means he means Erin, Donald, Gail, Heather, and Ian. 5. So just the 5 adults. And she was explaining to him that you're going to go out with your friend and your sister, and you're going to go watch a movie, and the adults are going to all just have some lunch here. So, okay. So yeah, they also say that that conversation that he had with Don about the flying lessons was most likely his final conversation with his grandfather before his grandfather died. So that would have been just after the lunch, and then we all know what happened in the preceding days. But that would have been his final conversation with him. All right. All right. When questioned, the boy, I'm not going to give you anything else other than to say he's a boy, and they said he saw his mother in the aftermath of the lunch, so the morning after, drinking some coffee in their kitchen, and she told him that she was feeling a bit sick and had some diarrhea. And he said that she told him they might not be able to go to church. He then said, "We didn't end up going to church because Mum felt sick." So they didn't end up going to the Sunday service at the Corumburra Baptist Church, which they normally did quite often. And it says here, the jury was told from this video evidence that the boy had attended that church almost every second Saturday and watched it from home on the other weeks where they didn't go. So they sort of went one week and then they didn't go the second week, and they'd watch on a live stream at home that the church provided. So they'd sort of do 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 1 week off, and they do it like that. So 1 week in person, 1 week online. And then it says, they asked the boy how his mother appeared on Sunday morning, and what they mean by that is, how was she doing okay? Did she look ill? And he says she didn't sound like she was, he's saying like she, she she's usually livelier, and they said he asked how was your sleep, and she was just a bit quieter. He says she didn't sound great. The diarrhea, she had to go a few times overnight. She was playing it down. That's what it sounded like. So he's saying that she seemed a bit down the next morning, not as lively as she normally was. And that's what he said in his answers. He then he then goes on and talks about a flying lesson that he had at Tyab in the afternoon on Sunday. And he told the police he had a scheduled flying lesson and it was about an hour and a bit away at Tyab in the afternoon. And he told his mum that he didn't have to go because she was feeling sick. And his reply was, I don't know why mum drove to that flying lesson. Well, flying lesson. We got a call and it had been cancelled because of weather. So we came back. So they didn't end up doing it anyway because the weather was bad. So they sort of drove all the way out there, got a call when they were very close to the facility, and they were told, "Oh, flying lessons cancelled," and they had to come all the way back. So even after the boy had told his mum, "We don't have to go today if you're not feeling very well," so that's what he told the jury in his video evidence. He said that his mum was quite insistent that he go to the flying lesson because there was less chance that she could spread whatever illness that she had at a flying field. So I guess because it's an open air area, that's probably true. They said the pair, after the cancellation, turned around and went back home, but had stopped in at a donut van to get some dim sims and hot dogs. He says we got 3 dim sims and a hot dog, and we got mum a coffee. The son says they stopped there for between 5 to 10 minutes, but his mum didn't eat any of the food they bought. They said later on they ate their dinner at home, which the boy said his mum told him she used leftover meat from the lunch the day before. He says it was mashed potato, and he describes the meat as being very soft and it was easy to cut. It was beef, I fillet, it was a block, and I cut it up into cubes and ate it. He also describes that there is no gravy and nothing else on the meat itself. He also said he really liked this meat. He said in the past he had seen his mum cook like roast meat for the family. The son, the the son was asked if the meal was leftovers, and he confirmed. His mother confirmed it was. He goes on to say she cooked it all on Saturday. The boy also said that he didn't see how his mum had prepared the meal. Just that he was told that information from before about it. Nothing else, unfortunately. That's all he knew. He said that after that dinner, his mum wasn't feeling well. She was feeling a little dizzy at that point and had diarrhea. The three of them then watched a TV show after dinner called Tradies, which he said the family were working through. The next day, he saw his mum in the hospital, who he said was awake but very tired. He also said she had gotten up to use the toilet. He described her as clammy and dizzy in his video evidence. That's it. Yeah, it's supposed to. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to do. Hold on, might be one more. Um, yeah, there was earlier in his testimony, in this, not testimony, sorry, he's not giving testimony. In his video evidence, this was video evidence, so it was a police interview that had been pre-recorded a period of time beforehand, and it was like admitted into evidence and then shown to the jury. So he wasn't there. He didn't give like live evidence or anything like that. It was a pre-recorded, what they call video evidence. All right. The boy said his dad had done a lot of things, and that's in quotes, a lot of things to hurt mum. And then he went on to say that he was aware of his father, that he had not accepted the invite to the lunch, but he didn't know why his dad wasn't attending. He explained that he and his sister had stayed with Simon Patterson on the weekends and with Erin through the week. So Monday to Friday, he would be with his mum, and over the weekends, he would be with his dad at times. The son also said his mum would go around to Simon's house for dinner, but that ended up stopping. They asked him how the relationship was between mum and dad, and his reply was that surrounding the lunch, it had, or before the lunch, he describes it as this in his quote: "It is just all very negative. Dad does a lot of things to hurt mum, like mess around with school." He continues and says, "Mum didn't put his name on the billing for the school." And he says that his dad wanted to be involved in what activities the kids did at the school and receive reports about the children. He goes on to say that his dad wouldn't talk to his mother about it. He would just call the school directly. The son also, um, he said that during the 12 months he had stayed with his mother full time, his father Simon had been trying to get them to stay with him. And he says here and I quote, "He kept trying to get me and my sister to come and to come back." So what he means by that is come back and live with him. "And I didn't want to. He never did anything with us over the weekends." He says his father never did anything with him over the weekends and that he didn't want to go back and live with his father for a greater amount of time. So there you go. No, they describe it as "I feel it." I feel it. I don't know what that would be in American terms, whether you guys have "I feel it." I don't know how it changes country to country. Um, but yeah, "I feel it" is the let me just find the quote in my notes here. There was a quote where he describes what type of meat it is. Hold on. Oh, yeah, he says, "It was beef, I feel it. It was a block, and I cut it up into cubes and ate it." So, I feel it. Pretty nice cut of meat, right? I think I'd like to eat a I feel it. No. Okay, beef tenderloin or filet mignon maybe is another word for it. That's in the US, so filet mignon in the US is the same as I feel it in Australia. So, there you go. There's the Americanism of it. One last thing, they did speak about mushrooms, and I will give you the quote. He did say that his mum had a fascination with mushrooms, but that he and his sister didn't like them. He says in a quote here, "I don't really like the taste of mushrooms," and that his description of them is squishy and mushy, and said he had never actually been foraging for them. He claimed his mum had once taken a photo of a mushroom growing, outdoors. And he said he also recalled that his mum had cooked mushrooms in pasta in the past, but that he didn't really like them. He said his sister also disliked mushrooms and he'd never picked a mushroom and wasn't aware of Erin or Simon, his mum and dad, ever doing so either. He also didn't know anything about the dehydrator either. So that's all I have for today. It sort of was a very short day in court. I hope that gives you some context between the two children's video evidence. And that's really it. It was a very short day today. Fridays are sort of a day that's used for other court processes in the afternoon, I think. I think often in the afternoon, the judges got things to do and the lawyers have got stuff to get done, before 5 o'clock. So I think they often take that time to work with their clients or do whatever, or I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I got no idea what they do. But I just know that it's pretty common uh, in the USA, they also do the half day Friday thing a lot of the time. It's just sort of like a legal thing. They always do it. I don't know when we're due back in court. I don't know. I'm waiting for an update on this. But we're going to be back next week. I can't remember if we're going in on Monday or I'm waiting for an email on it. But we will be in court next week, and the next time we're in court, it'll be week 3, day 9. That'll be the next day in court. So we're moving through it now. This week was quite busy. I think I heard them say that there was more witnesses this week than they had anticipated. So they've been running through them quite quickly and being quite efficient, which is nice. It's nice that they're being efficient, so we're not wasting any jury people's time or something like that, or our time. So it sounds like we're doing okay on time so far. We'll see what happens. But next week, I expect more of the same. It'll be efficient, a lot of witnesses, and a lot more things to report on. All right. Yeah, week 3 coming up next week. It is going fast. I agree. Yeah, it's great to be on the chat instead of the replay. Yeah, because it was a half day today. Let me see. Hey, good to see you all. I'll read out some names just to say hi. I hate mornings. Marilyn Landis, Laura T, Lynn D. Hey, Lynn D. Sherry. Hey, Sherry Reynolds. How are you? Who else do we have? Woman of Steel. Hey, my friend. Who else do we have? Rachel's here. Hugney is here. Pain or Chocolate is here. Who else? Wendy R. Hey, Wendy R. Texas Roadrunner. Good to see you all. Carolina made it. Marjorie's here. Hey, Marjorie. Thank you for that donation yesterday. I appreciate it. Yuta's here. Hey, Yuta. Who else do we have? Sean's here. Hey, Sean, buddy. Good to see you, buddy. All right. I'm going to shut down the stream. I'm out. I'm done. Week 2 in the books. I am going to go relax for the rest of my Friday. Will I do a live show for very early morning Americans? Maybe. If I'm feeling up to it this evening and I'm not snoring, I'll do something. Yeah, sure. But hey, we got a lot of time over the weekend. We got some late shows coming up over the weekend. If you miss the old shows that come on at midnight, you're going to get at least 2 of them. At least 2 over the weekend. So look for that. You're going to get 2 late shows over the weekend that we're going to do a bunch of true crime catch up across the USA, bunch of catch up out of other cases in Australia, and we'll do that over the next. For you guys, it'll be Saturday, Friday, and Saturday. For me, it'll be Saturday and Sunday. So I'll do that. Then I'll get ready to get back into court again. Court again for next week. Okay. All right. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, did you know we got something like 80 subscribers in the last few days? I appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I'm the only independent media that actually got invited to cover this trial. So if you want the independent voice, this is the channel for it. You should be hitting that subscribe button and hitting the like button to help me out. I would appreciate it. It's a free thing you can do. It doesn't cost you anything. And it would show me that I'm on the right track to doing the right things. I will. Hey, yeah, welcome to all the new friends. I appreciate it. Yuta says, yeah, I think we're up to like 1.32 something. We've jumped up a few, so it's great. It's great to see. Can we get to that 1,500 before the end of next week? That'd be really good. If we could get to 1,500 by the end of next week, that would be very impressive. I would appreciate it. Hold on, I just want to check one thing before we go. All right. I think that's about it for today. I know it was a very short show. Fridays are sort of like that, and it gives us a bit of a chance to have a bit of a break and slow down for an afternoon. It's quite good. I'll see you possibly later in the morning if you're in the USA Maybe look for a wake up with Ping live show in the morning. That would be fun. Maybe we can do a wake up with Ping type thing in the morning. Texas Runner says, I like the graphics for the trial, especially from the courtroom in the different colors. Thank you. Reby made the design, and I've been sort of like manipulating them. So I've been changing all the colors and some of the days and things like that. But the actual design is from Reby, and I've just been modifying them. So yeah, I really like this one. I really like this one that we've been using for the last few days. This particular design, I like this, and I keep intending to change the color on it for every day. So every day we get a different color and we change the day on it too. So yeah, it's a really good one. I like it too for this podcast slash live stream. All right. That's it. Week 2. It's over. It's done. It's in the books. I'll see you if you're only here for the Patterson trial. I'll see you next week for the commencement of week 3. And if you're here for all true crime, I'll see you on the next live show for a late show with Ping. I love you all out there. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It has been it's been going fast already. I can't believe we're going into week 3 already. Love you all. See you soon. Good night. Good afternoon. TGIF if you're out there in Australia. Bye.